Hello, my name is Tyler Berry, and today I'm going to reflect on my time in the technology and the entertainment and media class. When I first started this class, I actually did not know what to expect at all. Um, I didn't really understand what it was going to be about, and when I finally got into it, I realized there was more like researching not just about your field and your industry, but other people's industries and how they work together. Um, to be honest, it presented a challenge for me because research isn't my strong suit. Um, Finding information is not what I'm best at all. I'm better at like typing and writing, but when I have to find information and things like that, it throws me for a loop. But it's not as bad as it might seem at first. Things look daunting, but I believe that the teachers definitely did a great job in making it accessible. And one really important thing is to have fun with it. I think that's important in any aspect. It's always to have fun with it and just apply yourself, but also have fun and make sure that you're not just overdoing it. Um, One thing that I think I learned about my own industry is just how big it was. Like when I researched it, I realized just how fast things are moving and how big things are. Especially one thing that stood out was VR systems. I did not realize how far they've gotten with it. I did not realize that it was really the next wave. I thought it was okay. There are a few here, there are a few there, but everybody's into VR, and it's to the point where it's pretty much every game as we've seen now in E3 is going to have VR capabilities, and I thought that was really interesting. I also thought it was really interesting that the game industry itself had grown from where it was to where it is now. Um, in the game industry, we went from pretty much getting persecuted for even playing games, and that was a waste of time. And you know, adults don't need to have fun, and it's teaching our kids to be violent. To okay, this makes us money, and we're gonna go with it. Please, just let them do what they do. To the point that now it's a sport. Esports is a real thing. I mean, if you look on Twitch and things, you see people playing it professionally and doing things in the game that we're like, okay, I just wanted to have fun, and you guys are really out here doing 360 flips and shooting me at the same time. It's like you look at their hands and the controller. It's just really fun. Um, and as a game developer, you really have to take that into account and how competitive gaming is really changing the gaming industry for better and worse. Sometimes I guess, but that's a whole nother argument. Another thing that I definitely learned was I learned about other industries, and you don't really think about that when you're talking about your own industry. You just, you're so set on, okay, I need to do this, but you have to work with other people. One particular assignment, I looked up terms from graphic design, I believe. So I found out about typography and visual hierarchy, and I was so just astounded at how many other terms apply to my field that were in another field. It was like all together. Like even stuff in my own field, I learned about source code and things of that nature. But I was just so shocked that all of this stuff just has to come together, and that's how you make the final product. So it's just very interesting to learn things of that nature, and when it comes together, you get kind of inspired. Like, okay, this is what I need to do. Another thing that I'll kind of give advice on is don't be like me and not find out how to start. I had problems starting work. Finishing it was fine, but it was how do I start, and I got hooked on that. Um, Try not to get too hung up on it. You most likely will do better than you think when you actually start doing it, and it actually comes easier. I'm kind of a perfectionist, So when I do things, like even now I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm messing up. And it's just you gotta have fun with it sometimes. Sometimes you don't have to do too much. Just be honest, be yourself, and just kind of, hey, just I'm doing this. I'm putting my best foot forward. I'm giving my all. And if I need help, I need help. Um, yeah, don't procrastinate. Definitely ask for help. Manage your time. You don't want to get swamped with work and then not have time for you. You time is very important. It's very important to just sometimes take a nap and just get back up and try again, because you don't want to just keep going and going and going and then you end up messing up something that you could have gotten right. Like you get you where you were going, like what you were just focused so hard on, and then you mess up on something that you never mess up on. So that's one piece of advice I would definitely give. Another one I would definitely say, go to the at least look at the lectures. They usually, it downloads. They set them, I archive them and everything. So even if you don't have time, like do the work and things like that, like I did, you should go back and look at them just because they're very helpful. Especially like if you have a question, look at it first before you ask, because it's usually answered. And also, just you know, it's good to see like the interaction between teacher and student, especially because we're all on the online, and that's one big thing that I like. If I had to give a really big piece of advice, and I know I've said this a couple of times, it's have fun. When you enjoy yourself, time flies by so fast. Like the class, it's 4 weeks and it flew by so fast. Like it's good to just, sit back, take in everything, learn, have fun with it, but be serious. You can be serious and have fun at the same time. Just apply yourself, because this is where we're going in the future. And I think this class has prepared me just a little bit more for the future. Like when I'm going to be doing work, I know I have to do this now, set a time for myself, and then, you know, oh, now I can go, play my game instead of focusing on making this one. I can go play a game that I felt like playing, or I can, take a nap, or things of that nature. So just kind of plan out your day. Don't do it too much. Leave some room for spontaneity. Things may happen. You never know what happened. Like this month was kind of rough for me. I had a lot of deaths in the family, but just make sure you know how to communicate. Plan out what you're going to do, and like I said before, most of all, have fun. I hope you enjoy the class as much as I did. Um, Thank you very much. Goodbye.